Hi guys. Okay, so I hope everyone out there is okay, and I know that when the market drops like this, it gets a little bit scary, but remember, when everybody else is fearful, that's when we need to be greedy, and I think that's what should have been happening last night. And so today I want to take you through my Bitcoin chart and show you what I think is happening there because obviously Bitcoin is steering the market right now. So I want to show you that I think the bottom is in and show you where I think we could be headed from here. So if you want to see what I think is happening with Bitcoin, please keep watching. Okay, so first I want to show you on this chart here, I zoomed out to the 4 hours so you can see our largest support fibs. These fibs are from the very beginning of Bitcoin to our very high at 69,000. And so these are the highest time frame, the major support levels that are on Bitcoin. And the reason why I have these here is because I believe prior to this up to 69,000, I believe is when we made our 5 full waves. So then I just grabbed that full set into this fib set over here. And so I believe that we are working on Bitcoin's first ever highest time frame ABC correction, and currently we are on A. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I think that we are still on A and that we need 5 waves for A. And so when we drop down here to the 382, so A usually targets the 382, but it technically doesn't have a target. It just needs to be 5 waves. And so when we came down here and hit this 382 fib level, a lot of people thought we were done. But when we have the lowest low like this right there on this wick, that usually means that it's not our last low. And that usually actually means it's a wave 3. So that's why I said that it was still valid that Bitcoin makes a new low and that this is still wave 4. And so after this is wave 4, we're looking for a 5th wave, and wave 5 has 5 waves. So during these 5 waves, it was really hard to tell exactly where these 5 waves are, but we know that it needs to make a new low past here, and it needs to keep a higher RSI than this RSI down here. And so now I think the 5 waves look like this. And so these, I believe, are the 5 waves that we're making for wave A. And so you can see that these 5 waves here for A are landing at this major 0.5 fib level. This is going to be support on Bitcoin, and we should retrace up a little bit at least. I believe this is our A, and we should be coming up for wave B. So now I'm going to get those targets for you for wave B, but just keep in mind here that because we broke down with heavy volume, we do have heavy resistance before our wave B target. Okay, so coming up from here, let's get our wave B targets. That's just going to be the retracement tool. We're going to click on the top and then come to the bottom here. Okay, so this is our target for wave B currently, if we do not make a new low past the low that we just had today. And so that means that this is our wave A. We're going to come up here to 51.6, and then we should be coming down for wave C. Now this wave B here is going to be really hard to trade, as wave Bs always are, and it's going to form an ABC. So it's going to form something like this, and you can see that this 0.5 fib here for wave B lands right at our top for our wave 4, and which means that there's a high chance that that is really strong resistance there, and you can see how close this 0.5 fib lands to our 236 support fib as well. So usually when we break down through here, down through any fib, we could come back up to the fib above it as resistance and then drop down again. And that's exactly what's about to happen here with this wave B. So depending on where A goes and where B goes, C will land around 51.6, or it even could go to 52.6. So around there is where we're expecting our wave C of wave B. And like I said, I will keep you guys up to date as we go through these waves. So this next wave C here, I'm really hesitant to show you the targets for that. And it's especially conditional to where our wave B goes. And keep in mind, even the wave B right now is still a little too early to be calling just because of how much volume came in yesterday. So I'm going to show you these wave C targets, and just keep in the back of your mind that that could be where we're heading, but there's a lot of things that might change that target as we go through our wave B and what happens at 51.6 and 52.6. So this is really conditional to our wave C. So that's my disclaimer, because I think a lot of people are not going to like my wave C targets. And I'm just going to do a quick estimate because, like I said, we still have A, B, C up for B, and so those targets down there are going to change. But if everything hits perfectly from here on out, this is what we can expect. Okay, so I picked the Coinbase chart to show you this on because it doesn't have all my other fibs on there, so it's a lot easier to see. But if everything hits perfectly from here on out, and if our B resists perfectly at that fib level at 51.6, then our wave C has a target of around 17,000. So this is the first ever major ABC on Bitcoin. Like I said, don't freak out at those targets yet, because we do have a lot of things that could change in between now and then, but really consider what is going to happen around this wave B target at 52.6 or 51.6, because that might be a good spot to sell before we head down to under 20,000. And so one more thing I want to show you here on the daily on Bitcoin, look at this wave A and look at this RSI. This RSI is a really bearish RSI. And so the reason why I think that we are not going to make a new high on Bitcoin is obviously I knew that 5 waves ended at 69,000, but look at this RSI. So this means that this is not our bottom before a new high. This means that this should not be the low before we make a new high. And so because of this new low on the RSI, it could mean that right now our wave A is not done yet. And it could also mean that we're going to come up for B, and that our wave C down here is going to be the bullish divergence. And so because we did make a new low here, that's why I think we're only going to head up to a 0.5 retrace. That's why I think that there's no all-time high, a new all-time high coming for Bitcoin. And now it's almost confirmed on the RSI that we're not going to go up that high. And also because of this low RSI here, we really need to pay attention to this 0.5 fib, because that is major support. And if it breaks through this 0.5 fib, that means we could come a little bit lower. And that's on the daily time frame. So now I want to take you to my Binance chart. Actually, let's do Bitstamp because I've already placed some fibs on there. So this black line here, which is where we are now, that is the 0.5 fib that I just showed you on the Coinbase chart. That is our major support, and that's where we are now. And so now that I see 5 full waves for A, and then also I do see 5 waves for the 5th of A. So I think that we could actually be good for some type of retrace from here. And this is kind of what I think we could expect for short-term resistance on our way up for B, or this is, you know, what's going to be our resistances within the next day or so, or even week or so. Okay, so if we do not make a new low on Bitcoin and we start to head up from here, what we can expect is first resistance at 38,000. And then after 38,000, we're going to retrace a little bit, probably down to this fib here at 36.7, and then we're going to come up to 39.3. And 39.3 is going to be our major resistance before a big retrace coming from there. And I'm not meaning big as in a new low. I'm just meaning our wave 2 retracement or something from there before we head up again. What you should also be aware of is the MA here on the 1 hour lands at this fib here at 35.8. That's going to be short-term resistance before we hit 38,000. And then also I want to show you on the 4 hour. The 4 hour MA is landing right at our 39.3 target for the top. So it looks like the 4 hour on a little bit longer term, we should hit that resistance at 39.3. On the 1 hour, looks like our resistance is 38,000. So that's what we need to watch out for the immediate term on Bitcoin, are those two resistance levels, 38,000 and 39.3. And so that is my Bitcoin update today, guys. It was a little longer than normal, but there's a lot going on at the moment. If you like these kind of videos, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And also make sure to follow me on Twitter and on YouTube so you don't miss an update. And as always, thank you for watching.